My name is Johnny. I am the artistic director of Autin Dance Theatre. We are a multidisciplinary performance company based both in Birmingham and Warsaw in the Black Country. As an artist, I devise multidisciplinary performance, but I'm coming back from a movement, choreographic, contemporary dance training background. But what we're talking about this year is aerial dance. So the practice of being in a harness and shaping the space with our bodies in time with music, in unison or not, under a point. And I was really lucky when I was a younger freelance performer living in London. I auditioned for a company called Gravity and Levity based in Brighton, led by Lindsay Butcher. And Lindsay helped us set up these intensive last year here at Imagineer Productions and in Coventry, and that was so good. But back in the day, I think that was 12 years ago, I auditioned for a show called Rights of War, and we had a couple of tours across the UK, and it had vertical dance and aerial dance in it. Side pickup, front pickup, and on the wall. And it was a commemoration of the World War commemoration, the centenary. And that's where I discovered aerial dance as a practice. I had no idea that it even existed, that it was even possible. How painful it was on the body, but also how equally beautiful it was to be flying and holding shapes in the air and finding control, having your sense of gravity pulled in different directions. So it's quite destabilizing to being completely upside down or sideways whenever you're moving in control. So that's where I fell in love with it. And I did a little bit of training with wired aerial, which are mainly doing bungees and vertical dance, which was interesting. And a few years back, I started to think of how I could collaborate with a really good friend of mine called Jamie Higgins, and he is a head rigger as well as an aerialist, and we worked together on that show, and we were thinking about a show where we could work together and spend a bit more time together. And we thought about maybe coming up with an aerial dance duet that now has grown into a 6 all-male identifying performing cast show called Up in the Sky that we're taking on tour and we're currently developing. So these aerial intensives that we're delivering here with Jamie in these 2 weeks in Coventry, they're allowing us to also be in learner's mode, where we're really learning from the participants and how to refine our practice on how we explain things or how we approach a different apparatus, and be really, really generous and being a sponge as well and taking from the participants. So it goes both ways. It's beneficial for everyone. So the influences and experiences that have shaped me, they come from different parts of my brain right now when I think about answering that question. I'm passionate about social justice, and I like fighting for the underdog. I have a background in law. I trained at law school in France before falling into the arts and running away with the circus. So I really like this idea of having a political or social message in the art form that we do, telling stories of people, but always trying to changing the status quo and trying to improve for a fairer, more equitable world. In the show Up in the Sky, for example, we are fighting for people and communities who have been displaced, people who are migrants, and people who have been victims of climate migrations. So that's an example. Other things that I'm passionate about is I like magic and the divine and superpowers and witches and wizards and that kind of stuff. That magic is something that I think we create as artists, or we create as human beings. We're all creative. When you think about something and then you make it happen, whether it's a drawing, a poem, or a dance piece, or a show, that's magic. There was nothing and then there's something. You created something. So we all have that act of creation within us, and I think that's magical. So I'm really into that. Yeah, so those are a few of the things. Yes, we have all experience challenges. The first few things I can think about is all the rejections that you get when you try to do something that doesn't exist. When you try to be an artist or a freelance performer, even in the industry, it's challenging. You're going to get a lot of rejection, and those rejections teach you a lot in terms of whether that job was or that opportunity was for you or not, or what you can do to get it in the future in terms of things, feedback and comment that you can improve on. Or sometimes it's a redirection. It's not a rejection, it's a redirection. It wasn't meant to be. I've always been somebody that's got quite a bit of grit and resilience, and I'm very stubborn. I think it's my dad's fault. I'm very, very stubborn, so if I want something, even if it's not right now, I will work very hard to have it right later. So I never take no for an answer, and I will always try to find ways to show up, to influence positively, and to show that I'm worthy of the opportunity. And if I'm not, finding ways to build trust and good relationship with people. I think one practical step or mindset that you could start thinking about if you want to get into the creative industries is to think that there's not one way to do things, that we're all blagging it, that showing up is always, you will always learn by showing up somewhere. Networking is important, being open to having new conversation with new people and not being afraid to saying, hello, my name is, and I'd love to do that. Putting it out in the universe and really connecting with people. We can't do these jobs, the creative industry in general, we can't do these jobs on our own. It really takes a village. It takes a team to get some money to put a project on. It gets a team to advertise and design and find the right language to get people to come to your show. It gets a team to design some costumes and music that's going to go along with your art form, if you have that. So really learning the skills of how to approach people, I think is very, very important, to look people in the eye and just be really truthful and honest. And we're not going to get on with everyone, that's for sure, but you want to be putting your best foot forward whenever you meet new people, and you want to tell them about the stuff you want to do, because that's what you're passionate about. So yeah, I think that's what I would say. Be a good people person, or learn to be a better people person as you go along.